Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's season 4 finale of Cyberpunk Red. I am Simon at Wondering DM, and I will be GMing, well, as I've done so for the entirety of our game so far. But I'm reprising my role as GM. The players are here. We will go and introduce them in a second, but before, I would just like to thank our sponsors for tonight's show, beginning with Arthasorian Games, who have so graciously gifted us with a copy of the brand new Cyberpunk Red GM screen, which is now on sale. Well, on sale. It's now on the market. It's been released a couple days ago. I'm trying to find out where it is. I don't think it's on DriveThru.
You can buy it. You can buy it on through the Artelsorian store, or as a PDF through your DriveThru RPG. Also, if you have a local friendly game store that participates in the Bits and Mortar program, you can get the physical copy there, and then get a digital copy from the Bits and Mortar program.
Yep. So you, tonight, we'll probably do that around break. We'll be giving away a copy of it. And, of course, our other sponsors for tonight, Found Familiar, as usual, great coffee company. If you want to check them out and order some nice
Jesus
coffee.
Christ.
There's a bit of traffic in this district of Night City, apparently. I don't know who that one was, but cool. And of course, Roll20, because we play all of our games here on Roll20, so check them out, roll20.net. They've upgraded all of their dynamic lighting for all of their maps, which makes things a lot easier for GMs to run games, especially pre-made games on the platform. And last but not least, our not sponsors, but the company I am affiliated with, Die Hard Dice. If you want to get your hands on some very cool dice, we will be, in fact, I announced it yesterday during Sentinels, but for the entire month of July, we will be doing Christmas in July, and I'll give away like at least one dice set every week. At least. I have a bunch here to get rid of, so keep an eye out on that. Without further ado, let's go around the table, introduce our players, and get back in the thick of things. We'll start with the person to my left on the overlay, and then we're just going to go counterclockwise. Deirdre, hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Night City, and I love all of these people, and I love playing this game, so thank you very much. And if it blows up, it was probably Chun's fault, but she enjoys it. I am at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Prexworth as me before. You can see me around on Twitch, and I get to play Trins, your friendly neighborhood tech who will make it go to 11, and possibly was like, I need to make things go boom for my friends. So I made lots of things that can go boom.
Next on the overlay, we have Chris. Hello.
Evening, Chumbas. My name's Chris Geary. You'll find me in chat as Chris Geary, on Twitter as Chris Geary, and I'm playing Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost, the guy who knows a guy who's also a trauma team surgeon, and dabbles in some net running, I guess, on the side.
Up next, we have Adelaide.
Yeah, I am Adelaide Gardner, Adelaide on Twitter, and I play Reno, our resident solo. She's got a cat named Dutch. He's around from time to time. That's Kingston.
And up next, we have Rin.
Oh, sorry. Hey, I'm Rin. I'm totally lost tonight. I play Jinx, who might shoot some heads tonight. Maybe. Yeah. You know.
Up next, we have Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Jimenez, who is not really walking around as Jimenez right now. No, he is in his Justice Mime form and is probably going to punch something or suplex something. I think tonight is Suplex City night. So,
All right, and then last but not least, we have Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah, Hanimation Art on Twitter, Hanimation Studios on Instagram, and everywhere else. And I will be playing Black Cat, the fixer who's not very good at fixing things, especially for herself. But she's trying. She's getting better. So tonight she's looking forward to some things possibly blowing up. That's the game plan. So we'll see.
And to get us back in Night City to where we were, situation is critical right now. The actions that the six of you and your friends have done over the last couple of days have pissed off Dog Killer to no end, and greatly reduced the presence of the Raffen Shiv in Night City. With a lot of your edge runner contacts of other allies you have gathered over the course of the campaign, you basically called in all of your favors, and along yourselves have gone after every Raffen Shiv, every wraith you could find in the city until you found a location of, or until you got the attention, I should say, of Dog Killer. He was hiding on Morro Rock in this giant repurposed AV from Trauma Team, an older model, reinforced a lot, model that was originally sold to Militech from Trauma Team, and through your researches learned that this exact AV disappeared or was stolen or went missing. Don't know exactly what, but it's there's something fishy there regarding what happened. Dog Killer and the rest of his Raffen Shiv decided to meet you at the marina, a location you have chosen to confront him. And before this confrontation happens, you decided to hack into the radio of the Shiv and send out a few taunts and threats his way. He is very, very angry and is heading your way. He had with him originally the remaining 12 Raffen Shivs that were in Night City, and 2 of them were taken out by your recent friend BPS, who, coming back from Atlanta after you've helped him discover the fate of his fiancée, helped you just, drive by rocket launcher 2 of the Shivs that were at the back of the column. But you know that there are 10 of them plus Dog Killer coming. We're gonna start our game tonight few minutes before Dog Killer shows up. So for now, everything is still calm. It's the last calm before the storm. You know he's on his way. Is there anything that you would like to do? Any moment you would like to have in this quiet moment before shit hits the fan?
Where exactly are we at? Like, we're already stationed, like, just chilling?
Yeah, the marina is a 3-story building with broken windows. It's, like, made out of concrete. It's, of course, the doors are facing the water. There is, like, a side entrance. So, basically, he's going to meet you in the parking lot in front of that building.
Right. Okay.
If I can I'll just move us to a different map for a moment. That already has a bunch of stuff on it, so let's just take a new one, right? Players, you will see my very, very excellent art skills. So if this giant square is the marina, the
Ferry terminal?
the ferry terminal, yeah, the building. Sorry.
Okay.
The big black one would be the parking lot. So imagine there's still like steel railings here and there to words, to sort of prevent people from like going the wrong way or whatever. So there's a little bit of cover, but it's not that great. There's a few lamp posts. What is it? It's alt. Most of them are broken. One is still operational. It flickers. Gives a little bit of light, but not that much. If here, I'm gonna take this. And of course the water edge would be like about here. So there's a certain distance between you and the water. Not enough that a vehicle can pass, but enough that like a person can walk no problem. Doors are here. Those are fairly big doors. One here. And then inside there's a staircase that leads up to the second and third floor. The second floor, for those of you who are hiding in it, used to be a like a diner. Thank you. A diner slash restaurant. So you're gonna have your seats, your tables. Most of them have been, graffitied over, burnt, broken. There is like a kitchen area that you can hide in. Of course, the kitchen doesn't have any windows that give onto the outside, but it is like a space where you could hide. None of it is in working condition anymore. And the third floor were the offices. So on the third floor, you have like 6 offices. Each one, because the third floor is smaller, each one has windows giving onto either the parking lot or the river on the other side. Again, windows busted. Pretty much anything of value has been taken, and everything else has been smashed to pieces over the years. The marina has not been really used ever since the city built like 2 additional bridges. I should say the ferry terminal. So that's the lay of the land where you are at the moment. Just to refresh our viewers' memory and also mine a little bit, which floor were you all hiding on?
I was down on the main floor, I think. No, I was on a boat, right? You and me were on a boat. Jinx?
Yeah, at first I thought we were on the boat because there was an old ferry there.
That's what
Yes.
I thought.
It would
I
be-
thought Jinx was on the top of the building.
Well, she's on the top of the boat, but
I'm
maybe the
everywhere.
boat's not tall enough. I don't know.
And I'll
We've
sh-
cloned
I'll-
her.
I wrote in my fan fiction or flash fiction that Jimenez and Jinx were on the top of the ferry.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember Jinx and Jimenez being on the top of the ferries. Reno had taken a position somewhere, I thought, in the building, and Mr. White is in the RV with Trins because that's where he could net run from, theoretically, in the protected vehicle.
Yeah, and you guys can move around if you needed to.
And I thought Black Cat was in the van too.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the squishy people who don't shoot things were in the van.
Fair play.
Where
And-
are you hiding the van? Where is it?
So it's a ferry terminal, right?
Yep.
So it's in the portion of the ferry terminal where you can drive the car onto the ferry it's the car entrance point on the ferry.
That would be the big black rectangle that I drew.
That's the ferry itself. I mean, inside the terminal.
No. So basically, you would drive next. So the terminal is the building. You would drive next to the building and then on to the ferry.
Okay, so you don't have to go through the building to go. Okay.
Absolutely not. You don't need to.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, that's where the RV is. Well, no, because you guys are on the ferry. Then that would make things hard to see. On the other side, I would say, oh, this is the perfect color. Let's put it here.
Okay.
Put the RV on the other side of the ferry terminal from the ferry where the other shooty people are.
And the ferry is, well, part of it anyway will be drawn in orange. I should have done a better job, but let's just put it this. Ah, come on. All right, the big orange square is where the ferry is. So, we've got people in the RV. We've got the squishies in the RV. We've got some on top of the ferry. And who else was inside the building itself?
I'm assuming I was inside the building. If the other people were in the I know I'm in the main floor of whatever it is.
That would be
I thought Black Cat and Reno were on the same floor, wherever they were.
I don't remember. Put me wherever you think I'd be best utilized.
Because you had asked about your SMG and its range.
Okay.
And the most likely place for them to park, or for the AV to set down, is going to be the parking lot.
Okay.
Because if they tried to go onto the pier, they would basically bottleneck themselves and not be able to get out. So by the size of the RV, or not the RV, the AV, we basically eliminated the pier as a realistic entry point for the AV. Now, if they surprise us and set down there anyway, then they do. But
Trins, you were in the RV as well, right?
No one going to use a turret?
3, 4, 5, 6. Apparently not at the moment.
Oh, dip.
So, again, giving you a few minutes, is there anything else you want to do, prepare last minute before we move on to the thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this was done before we were, like, while we were headed there, or like just before we all left. I am going to pull Mr. White aside for a second. And I don't have any gifts to give. I gave you an expensive bottle of whiskey, I think, last time. I just kind of, she's very clearly trying to be, like, not awkward about this because she's not good with feelings. But I kind of, like, bro clap you on the shoulder and listen, I never properly thanked you for what happened with the brain dance thing, you know, where I almost died.
there's no need.
But I mean, can I just thank you?
Yes. Appropriately, you should. Or, be able to do whatever you want. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
For being dismissive of your kind gesture.
Well, I'm usually the one that's dismissive, so it's fine. No, I feel guilty about it taking so long. I don't know, maybe I just didn't think about, dying that quickly. It's not.
I wouldn't let you die. It wasn't on the table.
You seem rather stressed about it at the time, but I digress. Yeah, well, you know.
No, I wouldn't let you die.
Well, I appreciate it. You should give me one of your cigars one time. Let's do cigar night. Cigar and poker?
We can do that.
Texas Hold'em?
If that's your game of choice. Not much of a cards player. But
42? Dominoes?
I'm
Shooting
game.
bottles?
I'm up for whatever. Hey.
Alright.
We'll get out of this.
Oh, I'm
And
not
when
concerned
we
about
do-
dying now. We're definitely going to kill dog fish, dog head, dog skin,
Yeah, dog
skin.
shit.
Dog shit.
Yeah. But
Dog killer. That's the one. Dog killer, soul killer. There's a lot of killers. It's very unoriginal.
everybody wants to be tough.
Yep. 2 seconds. The stream froze.
Oh no.
That tender, heartfelt moment.
I know, ruined.
Ruined.
So how about this? How about we come back and the two of them are just kissing?
Yes.
Yeah, why
if you
not?
guys want.
Sure, why not?
I mean, we can.
It comes back and it comes back.
They
to that
can still
opening scene.
hear us, by the way.
Yeah. Everyone can hear. By the way, they just can't see.
You didn't hear anything. You heard nothing.
No, what should happen is that the screen should just come back and it would be that opening sequence of Skyrim when you're on the car.
Oh, you're awake.
Oh, you're awake.
Why am I missing? Zoom, what are you doing, Zoom? Okay, that's one window. So Reno's here, I'm here. Jimenez is here. Mr. White is here. Black Cat is here.
Man, everything's going bad today.
I know.
Weird.
Okay, Trince is back. That's roll 20.
The electricity between White and Reno just shocked everything.
And
Overloaded the
Jinx is back.
circuits.
There we go. Okay, I am very angry at my computer.
Justifiably so.
Yeah.
You want to know whose computer hasn't really melted down yet?
Hmm?
Over a year?
Hmm?
The one that someone was very kind and built for me. Thank you very much, Anina.
Just saying.
It's beautiful.
Um,
It's fabulous.
Just to set the record clear, Nino. I bought the pieces you recommended. I'm just saying.
But you were the one who put it all together, so I don't know.
It's the magic touch.
Okay, my hands are defective. Okay,
Magic mime touch.
Yeah.
Look,
And the cat
The
hair.
magic mime touch?
And the
Is
cat
that what
hair.
you said?
Yeah.
Love it.
It is at this very moment that a piano falls from the sky onto Jimenez and crushes him.
There's just a womp womp, and
It's Looney Tunes.
No, actually, the first thing that happens is thunder. Thunder and rain.
it's a good thing my makeup won't run.
The visibility is greatly reduced beyond the map, right? It's not going to affect what's on the map itself, but you have a harder time seeing, you know, the cars driving by on the street beyond the parking lot. The rain itself, when you look at your clothes, when you look at the ground, is one of those famed Night City blood rains. Still tainted red from the mushroom clouds and the radiation from so long ago. If you had a Geiger counter, it would go off a little. Not enough to say that any of you would have lasting consequences. Just try not to drink from the raining water. a few more minutes of silence go by. Is there anything else anyone wants to have? A scene, a prep, just to make sure Reno, your skills for your solo are all set.
Oh yes.
All right. Everyone else, your stuff is done. Good.
There's.
Yes.
Go first,
Oh.
Daniel.
So Jimenez is actually going to pull out his drone cameras and another video camera from his pack. And he's going to set one up on the ferry railing.
Mhm.
He's going to clamp it there. He's going to activate the drones to sort of circle around and get a good shot of where he thinks that the van is going to come up. But he'll also have one sort of focused on him. And he'll pause for a moment and tap Jinx on the shoulder and point at the camera and wave.
Jinx will wave.
And there's actually a monitor inside the van that Trins could probably look at and see if she is so inclined. But he will also text a bunch of emojis to Trins. An emoji of a cooler and little hearts. And he did actually leave a cooler full of Jolt Cola by the the front passenger seat. Just you need someone before the fight.
You will get a response of a bunch of little various types of heart emojis of various shapes and sizes. And then also because I wanted to do this, and I did roll for it 2 weeks, not last session, but the session before, and we forgot, is that she wanted to do some, because she makes it go to 11, and it always is, she texts, and when you're ready for the musical accompaniment to make it epic, press the blue button, because she built speakers into the armor jack for Jimenez so that he can Justice Mime can now have epic fight music, a la, your best Wuxia series, Hong Kong fight movie, because you need that level of epicness.
I feel like he's a Wu-Tang fan,
Yeah, I would say so.
I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, X is nothing to fuck with, so.
Or something like really out of the blue, like just ska.
I mean, he could be a.
I mean, if it wouldn't get us into serious trouble because they are always watching and always listening, it would be a particular song by a particular band from the 1970s about Vikings and, a land.
Uh-huh.
A land down under.
No.
I see where you're going.
A land full of ice and snow, not down under.
Not Vegemite sandwiches.
I mean, it would also work. As you.
Okay,
yep.
Men at Work is not epic fight music.
Or so you think. I can't play it during the game anyway, but.
But it's gonna hold me down. That would be Reno. Reno would listen to that.
with the speakers set up, the camera is set. Silence. And then the low hum of a rather sizable AV. Okay, that wasn't what I was looking for, but okay.
Over the radio. I just assume Trins knows everybody, so I'm asking her if that's one of ours.
Trins?
I'm sorry, I missed the end of that. It froze for me for a
She's
second.
Italian. I'm Italian. We all know everybody.
Yeah, okay,
You
that's
know?
true.
Just
But
assume.
You're assuming that I know. I missed that. I honestly missed it. It didn't come through to me.
She was saying. I said over the radio. Is that one of the ATV sound? Like I'm asking you. Is that one of ours? Because Reno just assumes that she knows everybody.
No,
Everywhere she goes, she's like, "Oh yeah, I got an uncle, and right down that street.
no, that's not mine.
He'll break your kneecaps."
If it was one of mine or someone I knew, the engine would actually sound better. That sounds like somebody hasn't cleaned the intake valves in years.
That's because it's been sitting on Moral Rock.
That's no excuse. I know guys who have rides that they came out of actual old Corp Senna that were part of that were nuked that sound better than that piece of shit. She might also be saying this and have been kind of forgotten that the external loudspeaker was still on from when Mr. White was being intimidating. So it's like now she's just ragging on this guy's ride loudly. Mind you, she probably would have said it to his face anyways.
Yeah. Following the sound of the poorly maintained AV9 are the sounds of I don't know, half a dozen motorcycles, and then the rest are Chutu cars. You see the lights from their headlights, the spotlight from the AV9 sweeping across the parking lot, and the Ruff and Shiv finally showing up. I'm gonna ask all of you to please select your tokens, roll initiative. We're gonna go in initiative order from this point on.
Can't select my token.
2 seconds.
Well, let's see. There. Oh no, it fixed itself. An 18? I crit for the first time on initiative.
Awesome.
Oh my god, I'm actually higher than I usually am.
Alright, Shiv, and that's for Dog Killer. So.
Oof.
Oh, God.
Because it doesn't have my what is it? Dex score in there?
Yeah, right now it just rolled like it's not Dex, it's Reflexes.
Reflexes, that's right. Okay, so it's 5 plus, is that 8? 13.
13, alright.
13.
There we go. And then I need... Yeah, that's him. He's at +8. Okay, there's a lot of 13 tonight. Reno, what's your reflex at?
It is at an 8.
Okay, so you will play exactly at the same time as Dog Killer.
All right.
Rin, what's your... Oh, not Rin, sorry. Jinx, what's your reflex?
Same.
Okay.
8.
Everyone's gonna play, except for the Shiv. So I'm gonna lower the Shiv to 12 so I don't make a mistake. But the person with the highest reflexes or the highest initiative trends, you notice them pulling up into the parking lot. Some are riding motorcycle, like I said, the others are like Chutu nomad vehicles, so think like an oversized ATV. Almost like a modded dune buggy, more than an actual car.
I think she just takes a second to cock her head and go, I feel obligated to state that if you do not vacate the premises and get rid of those shit POS that you're driving, you will be mere speed bumps under my car. Also, other people will confirm that those will definitely end up as speed bumps under my car. Because she's going to be intimidating as fuck, god damn it.
That comes out of basically the PA, like, giant loudspeaker that you have atop the RV, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give me an persuasion check, please?
Persuasion or intimidation?
Intimidation. I keep forgetting if intimidation is a skill.
No,
or
intimidation isn't a skill. It's just
Yeah,
persuasion. Cool. I'm gonna spend 2 luck on this because, God, she's intimidating. God damn it. We know that, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Very, very intimidating. Sure, for sure.
So intimidating.
That's a 16.
Quivering.
So with a 16, actually, so you shout out your message, your threat, and a few of them you'll notice. I'll take like the 4 that are like the lowest on the image on the map. But these 4, so 2 of them in dune buggies, 2 of them in motorcycles, will break away from the group and head straight for the RV instead. The others don't seem to want to mess around with the big armored vehicle. Up next, Menace. By the way, if you are on the ferry, you can see everything in the parking lot up to, I'll say, about like 4 squares away from the building. Because then they get too close to the building, and despite your height advantage, like the building's gonna be in the way.
Okay. Menace is just going to motion to Jinx to ask for one of her napalm Molotovs.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
he's going to hold his turn and wait to see how they respond.
All right. The next 3 people will play at the same time. Jinx, Reno, and Dog Killer. So I'll let you know right away what Dog Killer is going to do. He's going to shout at the Shiv to kill everyone, but bring me the Warden's head.
What's this dude's problem with heads? I'm very concerned.
Who's the warden?
Hi.
You run a prison?
No, it's my last name.
Oh. There's your himbo moment.
Actually, I'm now wondering who knew your last name already.
I think I spat it out during one of the sessions. To everybody in game.
When we saw the wanted poster
Was
with
that the
her
one that we
name
Oh yeah,
and
that's
her
it.
face.
Was that the one that you all had gifts of us writing down the revealed information?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to stay in his AV, by the way, and the AV is going to fly forward. Just so you know, for Reno and Jinx. Otherwise, it's your turn. I'll do you first, and then Dog Killer after.
So he's just still going straight gung ho ahead. He's not stopping.
Yeah, well, he's slowing down. He's not going to ram into
Okay.
the building, because that
Okay.
was one of the consequences that could have happened
Okay.
because of the taunts last week. But I rolled, and he's keeping his cool a little more.
Okay. Okay, so I've got better vision on my eyeballs. I'm not shooting yet. What I'm looking for is, does it seem like he's got something bigger than just him and his men? Like, is one of them coming in with like a giant nuke on the back of their shoulder? Like,
No, so
you know?
I'll ask for a perception check.
Okay.
And the higher you get, the more like fine details you can get on them.
Absolutely.
But at first glance, without a check, you will know that none of them are sporting like weapons of mass destruction.
Okay. So nothing huge, obviously. It's a 12 plus
Well, define huge.
18.
Okay, so
Like comically, like bazooka huge, you know. That's, you know.
none of them have bazookas.
Okay.
So they have most of them have assault rifles slung over their shoulders.
Okay. Interesting.
Some of them might be shotguns, like you're not quite certain, but it's a long rifle-like weapon that they have slung over their shoulders.
Okay.
They each have holsters either outside of the cars or on the motorcycle. Like on the motorcycles, it would be like right between the handlebars.
Okay.
So they can't really fire from, like, the motorcycle doesn't have like an automated turret, and neither do the cars. The
Okay.
giant AV, however, because it's probably the biggest. It is the biggest threat
Okay.
that you're facing at the moment. It's got 2 rocket launchers.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry, they're not regular rocket launchers. They're 19 shots rocket launchers.
19 shots.
Yeah, so
at one time.
Yeah, remember, like you see that like either in G.I. Joe toys or in War. It's an actual
Oh, like
weapon,
the little,
but,
like the big square thing
the
with all
square
the
thing with all the
okay,
rockets in it.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
The anti-aircraft missile
Right.
launcher.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. That no matter where it shoots from, that shit's gonna hit us. I am going to see how far away is he at this moment.
So we'll just say, for the sake of things, my map, like, don't really pay attention to the map because it's not like precise. The parking lot itself, all of it, is 50 yards.
Okay. So
he would be 50 yards away.
Okay.
Like, he's up in the air, but we'll say, screw Pythagoras. We'll just 50.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can shoot out the tires of the AV. One of the tires, maybe, if he lands.
So AVs don't have tires because they're literally flying vehicle.
Oh, they're literally okay. It's literally a flying V. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he had like launched it off like into some, I don't know.
No. It's
hazard.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. I'm bewildered. Reno's bewildered. I'm gonna hold my aim until he gets a little bit closer. Then.
Okay. What about Jinx?
Okay, how far do I have, like, between me and the bikers? Or the raft ship?
So because you're farther back, we'll say, let's go with 100 yards.
Okay, I'm gonna start trying to take out some of the guys.
Okay. This is your sweet spot for the sniper rifle, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
All I hear is the line from Usual Suspects by Stephen Baldwin, where he goes, "Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he shot some guys. Bada boom, bada bing, bang, boom."
21 does hit, I believe. Let me check. They cannot dodge, so yes. Ping whichever you want to aim at. You just click and hold. Okay, first guy.
$11 damage.
11, and they had an armor of 4, but now it's 3, and they take 7. Cool. So yeah, the first guy who wasn't going for the RV was just going to, you know, probably scout ahead, and everyone can see and hear the ting of the bullet ricocheting from his handle, the handle of his motorcycle, and like lodging itself in his body. The motorcycle starts to swerve. He takes control of it back again, but he shouts to the others, "They've got suppressive fire!"
One bullet is impressive. I know, I get it. They're not exactly tactical geniuses or anything like that. But I think if it's okay, Jimenez is going to move in between Rin's shot, and he's going to try to throw that napalm at the RV.
Oh, you're attacking your own RV? All right.
The AV. Okay. You know what I meant.
Yeah, fine. No, I know, but I make conscious efforts before I say it to like differentiate between the AV and the RV, because I'd say the same thing. Because this is a thrown weapon, right? I have to check what the range is for thrown, but remember the AV is like 100 yards away, so this is going to be extremely difficult.
Is it really? I thought it was closer than that. Okay. I mean, I thought it was closer, and I thought I would be high enough to that it would reach if I gave it a good arc.
It could. No, but the AV is 50 yards away from Reno, but Reno is about 50 yards away from you.
Oh, okay.
So you're up in the air. You could lob it. I just need to find where it is, because in the book, every time you throw something like a grenade, it's normally done through a weapon.
Is it really? Oh, I thought I was going to be able to use my athletics.
No, I want you to use your athletics. I would just like to know what the DVs are for that. Friday Night Firefight.
It's athletics for throwing.
Yeah, I know. It's the DV that I'm looking for.
It's under ranged weapons.
No, not if you throw something.
Yeah. Ranged weapons, things that are fired, shot, or thrown.
No, I know, but grenade is not in there. There's grenade launcher and rocket launcher. Let me see. That would be physical.
There's a throw action on page 128.
Does it have a range or something?
Throw page 177 for the range stuff.
Throw. There we go. Okay, so you use an action to throw. Oh, it's when you want to throw someone onto the ground. Throw an object.
Or a person or an object.
Oh, the
if
maximum.
You want to throw an object.
Okay, so the maximum range is 25 yards.
What kind of noodle arm is that?
This is weird, isn't it?
By using an action to make a ranged attack using Dex plus Athletics. That's your... Yeah. Look, We know that people can throw a lot further than that. That's a really crappy.
That's all you get.
Yeah. I'm like, what,
Every-
are there no quarterbacks in the
Every
Exactly.
every high school quarterback is insulted right now.
Yeah. So
We don't
here's,
even have to go to pro.
here's what we're gonna do. Because 25
mean,
yards is kind of weird. It's
they ca-
probably
but
just the
they-
action for like if you want to throw something that isn't normally a throwable item, right?
It's grenades, or you could use the grenade DVs, which would be basically what this is. You would use the grenade DVs.
All right, we'll go with. So your arm turns into a grenade launcher for now.
All
right.
He is pretty athletic.
So at this distance, you would need to roll a 20 or above to hit the AV.
Okay. That's.
I say
that's
that,
not
but
nice.
that's not true. You would need to beat his dodge roll
You have to, and it's athletics.
because he has high enough reflex that he could move the AV out of the way. So if you want, it's possible. It's going to be opposed you against Mr. Dog Killer.
All right. I think I'll hold on to it, and I'm going to wait for him to move forward a bit more.
It would be the same check regardless.
Sure.
So with that, the Shiv, they begin driving across the parking lot. Most of them aren't really sure where everyone is, since no one actually... Well, there was one bullet. So they're not quite sure, but the 4 that were going to... will take, like, their entire turn. So the group splits into 2. 6 of the Shivs are going closer to the building. They're mostly driving in, like, wide circles in the parking lot. Both looking at more or less where you are, but also, you know, back at the street and the other buildings to each side, because they're not sure, you know, who's where and what's going on. And I will... where's their perception? Wow. No wonder.
Not good.
I mean, it's okay. They do not see anyone on the ferry. They, in fact, do not see anyone, period. So they're just driving around, trying to figure out who's where, and 4 of them are cautiously slowing down and driving towards the RV. Those 4 seem to expect something from the RV. Black Cat.
I'm pretty sure the closest of them is like 25 yards from where we are, and I don't think that that's ideal for my weapon. So Kat sees that Reno has delayed her turn, and I think Kat will also hold her fire for the time being.
All right. Mr. White.
Did Dog Killer not move in?
Did I
He
skip?
stayed at
Oh,
50.
yeah, I said he was supposed to have moved. Yeah. The
When is
AV
he in range?
moves, what range are you looking for?
Net running.
Net running is, I believe you have to be within 10 yards.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll go with 10 yards. It's like 10 meters normally or something like that. So,
And I'm waiting until he's within range.
okay.
Or sets down, and then the RV will have to move to get me in range.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, even if he's flying, like if you park the RV under him, then you would be able to hack him anyway. Just in case. Trins.
So we're supposed to go say hi, right? We need to have Mr. White say hi. And these fine people over here decided to come say hi to me. And I have a NOS system and a combat plow.
You do.
I activate the NOS system and I run their assholes down.
All right. With the sound of screeching tires.
And Shakira out of the loudspeaker.
This is probably the last thing they're going to hear. So this is definitely trying to ram people with your vehicle.
And a combat plow.
The combat plow is going to, I think it does more damage, right?
The combat plow adds two extra die to the weight of the vehicle, and the NOS adds extra die as well. I believe is what.
That's what we did last time.
Yep.
Okay, so
So it ended up being like, am I ramming? Yeah, I'm gonna run them
I
over.
want to know, are you running over all 4 of them?
You know, if I did this, I have an actual RV, and my car is bigger than theirs. Yeah, so I would kind of ram over them and then turn to kind of so I can pivot so the next ignition, the next round I can try and get under the AV.
Okay, so you would find yourself somewhere around here. Basically, not only are you like you're running them over, and then skidding.
Are you drifting again?
Yeah,
Are you drifting the RV again?
I'm gonna drift the RV again.
Okay.
But I want to use the combat plow to hit them and run them over, and then drift the RV.
So before we go, yeah, we'll do that in order. We'll do combat plow first. So ramming the vehicle doesn't require a check from you. What's the move stat of the vehicle, just to make sure?
I believe you gave us this. Hold on.
Yeah, it's in our. Where is the car? Why is it not there anymore?
It predated the core rules.
Yeah, it predated the core.
was
So
Jumpstart
you
Kit.
you gave us the RV from.
2020.
Yeah, no. I know, it's just I had the stats in Roll20 for a time.
Oh,
And for some reason, they're not there anymore. That's what's strange. All right, you know what? I'll take one of them from one of the trucks from Red, and we'll go with that. Anyway, the basic damage for a vehicle is 66.
Yeah, but this was you gave it. Oh, here's what it is. Hold on. It's Yeah.
Look, we'll go with the 66, and then I need to check the combat plow, which is in the Nomad upgrade.
Yeah. Ramming. Whenever you. Okay. Oh,
Combat
Yeah.
plow. All right.
yeah. So it's 66 plus an additional 2d6 for the combat plow, or 2d6, one for the combat plow and one for the NOS system.
Yep, that's it. And nobody in your vehicle suffers the whiplash critical injury.
Yes, because it's a modified vehicle.
Yeah. So even if you don't have your seatbelts, White and yourself are good.
Yep. Do
So
I
they
need to make the? Do I need? Oh, no, they need to make the drive check to get out of my way,
Yep.
or is it opposed?
No, it's not unopposed. It's just them It's a DV13 to get out of the way, but it is not drive. Even though they're driving, it is their own dodge roll, which might not be the best for them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 2 of them will succeed. So we'll say it's the 2 like at the end of their column, just because they had time to see the RV come in. So I'll just like move them to the side like this, just so I remember. But could you roll 8d6, please?
Not great roll, but 28.
I think you kill them all. Well, the ones that you hit anyway. Let me check.
Well, okay
Ramming.
then.
Yeah, because their armor is a 4, and they have... Yeah, no. Bye-bye. And bye-bye. You just run over the 2 that were on their motorcycle. You hear the crunch of the steel as you, like, drive over, literally, their rides, crushing them to, like, a thin... piece of thin plank of sheet of steel, and Chutu and remains of someone. The other 2 in the back freak out. They drive their car out of the way. I need a drive check for you to swerve. That's a DV 13. Yeah, you're fine. You swerve, that's the end of your turn. Everyone hears the tires screech and the screams of pain. Now the Raph and Shiv are starting to freak out.
And
M&S. Shakira drowns out some of the screams.
Because these hips don't lie, baby.
I'm a Loba fan myself. It's a good one.
X.
What's the distance to Mr. Dog Killer's RV or AV right now?
Right now would be, let's say they cross like half of it, so we'll say 75. It would still be an opposed roll if you want to throw something. It's always an opposed roll. Because he's fast enough to dodge bullets.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see if he can dodge this. And you see, just Jimenez will stand up, and you know that pose that Banksy did for that graffiti, the flower thrower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the drone camera's probably going to stop, pause, and take a picture of him in that very pose with the Molotov in his hand before he heats it at the RV. He's going to try to aim for the rocket launchers.
Oh. Alright, I'll roll the DV first. DV 18.
Can I add 1 luck to that?
Yeah, you can. And so he tries to swerve the AV out of the way. It basically like strifes a little, but not enough. The Molotov hits like the corner of the rocket launcher. Damage is what was the damage again? I know it bypasses armor and like there's some of it that remains round after round. But what was the one the damage I gave you last week, Deirdre?
You said it was 5d or no 66 because it's like but it spreads.
But it spreads? You mean it stays like over time?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It also it's also like an area effect, so it will break and then.
yeah, that's the one that I need to check. All right, roll your damage. Jimenez, we'll start with that. That's the explosive. So it's a 10-yard area. 19. All right, so in 10 yards, that means that you'll also get the 3 rough and shiv that were under the AV. Like, bits of your napalm concoction, like, rains down from the sky onto them, so they'll also take 19 damage, bypassing their armor. One of them will just die on the spot, unfortunately for him. His motorcycle will just, like, go crash somewhere along with him. Yeah, that's okay. They don't have anything to dodge. And they are on fire right now. They are freaking out, understandably. Panicked. And everyone, you can see that these two... They've got the fight taken out of them, and they're making a beeline for the water. They don't know that it's not going to do shit, but... and as for the AV... because that's going to be a little different with the AV. Since you might actually make all the rockets explode. Steel. 25. Okay. So it doesn't set off the rockets. There's fire, like it's burning. You've clearly damaged one of the 2 rocket launchers. If Dog Killer fires from this one, it's going to blow up in his face. So, unless he's desperate, for all intents and purposes, you've neutralized like 19 of those rockets. But just remember to roll that damage anyway every turn. Because, you know, over time it might cause something to go boom.
Later on, he's going to edit that clip, and he's going to put in an announcer's voice going, "Kobe for 3," just as it arcs out of his hand at the AV. Just so you know.
All right.
Out of curiosity, just because I noticed this, is it possible for a grenade type item to crit?
Nope. There was an update, a recent update to the Cyberpunk Red rules, where it wasn't written in the book, but yes, anything that isn't a direct, like a bullet, a hit from a melee weapon or stuff like that, cannot crit. So the explosion cannot crit, but let's say that you hit someone in the chest with a rocket. That could be a crit. But it would be that very person because it's the rocket itself that hits and not like the fire or the force damage, the shockwave from the explosion. Because otherwise it would be very easy to roll a bunch of 6s. Jinx, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna stay where I am and try and take out another of the guys.
All right. Oh, that's a hit. Which one is it?
Did you see which one?
No, do it again. Okay, yeah.
17 damage.
That didn't go through. So that's a 17, 13 to him. Again, that one takes a bullet and shouts to the others, you know, they're over there, but there's only one direction anyway. Anyway, they're not the most intelligent writers. Reno and I forgot Dog Killer will actually, now that he saw someone move, will turn one of the machine guns and fire at the RV. So Reno, Black Cat, you were holding your actions. You can clearly see the minigun like turn to aim at the RV. So you know this is what's going to happen. But you can still react before him, like I said earlier.
Yeah, I think since they are all kind of in the chaos, why not create a little more? I've got the napalm Molotovs. I'm just gonna chuck one out. Yeah. Everyone's so quiet. I did.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're firing at the AV?
Kind of just in that area. Yeah, at the AV, but like, you know.
Well,
little...
you have to beat the 9.
Okay, that's probably going to be very easy. Is it?
It's an athletics check.
Athletics. Okay. It's already a 6. So where's athletics? It's already a 12 without my dex score.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Okay, what is the damage on there?
So, 66.
66, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 6, 7. Whoa. 7, 10, 12, 18, 28. Got 1 0.
28 plus 19, so 47. Oh, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Again, it explodes on the side of the AV. You see, like, the napalm clinging to the exterior, the fire burning. Again, little pieces of napalm fall down onto our poor Ruff and Shivs under, and with a 28, both of them are reduced to smoking piles of Ruff and Shiv bacon.
Yeah.
Dog Killer firing at Trince's car. Okay. I just need to get my... Well, I'll do the check first. Trince, can you dodge bullets?
Yes, I can.
Then can you make your evasion check, please?
It's evasion or drive?
Evasion.
Cool. I'm going to spend 2 more of my luck on this.
Actually, no, it would be drive because you're driving the vehicle. You're not. He's not trying to aim for you specifically. He's aiming at weak points in the
vehicle,
in the RV. Yeah.
Okay, so still gonna spend 2 luck on this, but it's a different. Cool. Come at me.
Oof. Oof. Oof, I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat that. Let me check. Alright. That is a 20. So no, it definitely misses for the first attack. I think he has more than 1, so that's what I need to just check very quickly. There it is. Now,
so
no damage. No, it's auto fire all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just a hail of bullets.
So this is what it looks like She's just finished running over all these people, swings to drift, and he fires as she completes the spin into the drift to reorient herself in the other way. It's like that moment in it's one of those Hong Kong action films where you can follow the path of the bullet, and the guy actually turns the wheel to do that moment of where the camera follows the driver as they watch the bullet go by, and then repositioned it perfectly. It looks really cool. See, I am totally intimidating, god damn it.
It's not intimidation, you're dodging. That's not the same thing.
Hear me.
So that was him. At the end of his turn, he will also get the 2 other assault rifles out and ready to fire, and prime the rocket launchers. Reno, you fired. You threw your thing. So the Ralph and Shiv, the 3 of them are actually going to... by the end of their turn, 3 of the Ralph and Shivs were driving onto the K, and one of them, actually, I'll put him here to make sure I remember. One of them, in his motorcycle, brakes and like drifts, gets off of his motorcycle as the bike just spins uncontrollably, and he will barge into the building, seeing that he saw someone throw a Molotov out the window. But the other 2 are driving for the ferry. And they've got their weapons out. One of them has a crossbow. And the other 2 over here... Okay, one of them is going to do something Mad Maxian. He's going to attempt to jump onto the RV. So under the hail of bullets, one of the Raffen Shivs drives behind the RV and will attempt to just jump on the rooftop of your ride. Where's his athletics? Oh. And he is jumping up. Yes, he will scream out, "Witness me!" and then spray paint his face. Alright, so that's going to be a DV-17 for him. So he says, "Witness me!" jumps, and White and Trins from inside the RV, you just hear a thump as one of them is now bikeless.
I think there's just, for flavor, not as an actual action, there's just this moment of Trins activating the windshield wipers to get rid. The clean, it's like...
While you're doing that, however, to get like the stench of that dude out,
no, get the schmutz off get the schmutz of him off of. My God.
One of them drives past you, shotgun leveled, and he's not firing at the RV. He'll fire through the bulletproof window, but he's aiming specifically at you, Trins. So if you have enough reflex, you can dodge out of the way with evasion, but not with drive, because he's taking a shot directly at you.
Yeah, through my bulletproof windows. Go right ahead.
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
I know.
So your DV is going to be a 19.
Okay, well, it's a 14. Hit my bulletproof windows.
All right. What's the cover rating of that bulletproof window?
Well, the car has a HP of 50.
Yeah, but he's not aiming at the car, so it's. I just need to check the.
On the bike, the bulletproof glass is 15 HP.
15. All right.
But-
So you
but-
have
but
an extra.
Simon?
Yep.
Really quickly, isn't there a penalty when you do a cold shot like that? Like
Not
when we
if you-
shot for the tires, when we shot for a specific spot on the car, we in season 2,
Yeah, that's if
we
you
had to use that penalty.
Yep, that's if you aim at a weak spot on the vehicle. But
Yeah,
if you can always aim at the driver without any penalty,
Gotcha.
provided that you're, in my
you can
mind,
see them.
close enough to see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Makes
in this
sense.
case, he wouldn't be able to fire at you, White, because you're not like sitting at the driver's seat. Or are you riding shotgun?
Oh heck no!
Okay.
I'm in the back.
And those aren't shells; those are slugs. Because why would he? Damage. That's 5d6. So you have an extra 15 temp HP, and you're gonna take 16.
No, the car is going to take 15, and I'm going to take jack shit because I am wearing an armor jack.
However, since it broke the plexiglass, the bulletproof window is at 0 HP, so it doesn't protect you anymore. But the car doesn't lose hit points. It's not the same. The glass in the car, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
And
I can
that's their
fix that.
turn. Oh yeah. I'm just saying for future references, you are now in the open. Black Cat.
Well, now I've finally got somebody that I can shoot, so I'm going to shoot him. So I don't remember if I'm supposed to hit the heavy SMG or the auto fire SMG.
Do you wish to spray and pray, or are you just trying to like do a little like controlled burst fire on him?
Since there's only the one dude, controlled burst.
Okay. Good answer. Otherwise, you might have scared Reno, who's like right in front of you.
She's used to
Scared
it.
me.
She's fine.
No.
All right. So it's heavy SMG is 1 attack per turn.
Okay.
And he is within 15 yards of you. So you would need 15 yards with an SMG. Oh, 15.
Well,
Well then, can you roll an extra d10, please?
oh boy, sure.
It already subtracted.
Oh, it already did it?
Yeah.
Did it?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
a 12. All right.
12
awesome.
plus 1 minus 4.
Okay.
So it was a 13 minus 4.
So no
Lucky
big
13.
deal. You fire and it just ping on the door frame instead of like right at him.
Okay.
He like moves out of the way a bit and notices you directly standing there, SMG at the ready. He's probably gonna go for you next turn. Mr. White, you are almost within range. I would say you could run outside. But
That would
if you
defeat the
delay,
purpose.
if you delay a little, depending on what Trent's is going to do, you'd be
My
in range.
my purpose is clear, and I have one goal at this point. So I'm waiting.
All right.
Top of the round.
Cool. Trent's.
I'm gonna move the RV closer to the AV, and I'm just a straight drive. Not gonna try and kill anybody this time.
Okay.
So that's my move. And at the same time, I'm gonna jury rig fix my window because I don't like this airflow here.
Weren't you going to go underneath it? Because it's still in the air.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like underneath it.
Okay.
But that's what she's doing.
For the purposes of the map, I know you're underneath. I just don't want to have like overlapping stuff because.
That's fine. I just
Sucks.
wanted to make sure that that was clearly stated.
Yep. So you're gonna find yourself within range, and your jury rigging.
It's a field expertise, basic tech field expertise.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me that roll.
28.
Yeah. You apply bulletproof duct tape to the window, I guess. I don't
No,
know how
she's-
that's
she's-
supposed to work.
She's waste not, want not. She's gonna do the full on driving with her left hand. She's grabbing underneath. She's got the cooler right next to her. She's gonna rip the lid off the cooler and you should tack that up with a silly putty as she does and still drift. And it will last. Oh shit! Only.
One turn.
It's just gonna fall out.
Look.
No, actually, you don't need to roll. The jury rigging holds for 10 minutes for
holds
each
for 10
rank you
minutes,
have
yeah.
in this specialty.
Oh, 10 minutes for each rank I have, which is 3, so 30 minutes. It'll hold for half an hour.
Yeah, we're good. However, once it stops holding, or if someone breaks it again, you can no longer jury rig it until it's actually repaired.
Yes.
White, did you want to play right away?
I mean, if that's possible, that's
Yep.
fine. But I didn't know if that works in this game. So
Yeah.
also happy to wait. Well, in that case, if I can, I will. So, White's goal is to, well, as I've stated, hack the AV. I'm looking for a weak point where I can get to, ideally, one of the weapons to repurpose. If not, my backup would be the internal fire suppressant system to basically coat the inside in foam.
All right. I need to grab the Okay. So
I've
we're
never
gonna
hacked it. I've never hacked anything other than stuff that was inside, kind of like a vignette. So I didn't really need to roll very much. So you're
What
gonna
is
have to
your-
walk me through this.
Yep, no problem. What's your interface level?
2.
2? All right.
Oh wait,
So,
no, that's my net running level.
yeah, net running level.
Okay,
That's what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, 2.
Okay, so that means you have 2 actions.
Mm-hmm.
So jacking in is one of your actions. So basically, the moment the RV drives under the AV, you plug into your
So that's not
your
something
cyber
that
deck.
could be prepped.
No, because it needs to be. It's an action
Gotcha.
that happens. It's like
Once you're in
connecting,
range,
if you will.
Gotcha. Yep. Nope. That's fine.
Just remember, you also need an action to jack out.
Mm-hmm.
You could jack out without an action, but that's going to be very painful. In case something happens, right? And then once you're inside, you have a plethora of actions that you can use. Do you have the book with you?
I can load it.
Okay. So it's on page 200. Those are
Okay.
all the basic actions that you have. And I know that you were given programs earlier when you were at the night market, right?
Yeah, I have. Good God, giant, and I wrote it down. I forgot to put it on the character sheet though, so I'm gonna have to look at the.
It was something like a dragon or a leviathan. Do either
Yeah,
of those
dragon.
sound right?
Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, dragon and giant.
right.
That I got from there, but I also had Hellbolt, Banhammer, Armor, and Worm already built
Awesome.
in.
Okay.
So
So using any one of them
okay,
is an action, right? It's called resing. So you're summoning your thing. Like when you're net running, you're basically a summoner.
okay,
And once it's summoned, that thing will attack like every turn. Giant and dragon Giant is a black ice that attacks an other netrunner. So you would know in this instance, unless Dog Killer has a personal netrunner booked to the AV, of the two programs that you have between Dragon and this one, Dragon would be the most useful.
I believe Giant I bought to actually protect my brain.
Okay, so you're going to use it to protect yourself in case something happens.
Yeah. So basically it roves that internal piece that he knows is there but doesn't really know much about what it does.
Okay.
But he put Giant in there to protect it. And then Dragon he has to either dispatch for extra protection or to use externally as well. But he mostly went for so let's see, net running. You said starting on page 200?
Yeah, 200.
200. So
when you land, you connect into the AV. What you see in front of you is this sort of landing pad, like a helipad at the top of a building.
Okay.
There is a door that seems to lead like inside the building itself. And when you net run in Cyberpunk Red, it's a bit like a tower. So in this case, it's going to be like a building, right? That you're walking down the stairs or taking the elevator. But each level, each story has some sort of challenge for you.
Gotcha.
And in this case, the floor that you are on, the door that you want to open has a password on it. So before you can do anything, the moment you try to connect to the AV, you need a password. And being a netrunner, there's an action you can use. I don't know if you have a program that does it.
But I also have all of the manufacturer admin codes downloaded for this AV from Trauma Team.
So in that case, your backdoor check would be like instantly successful.
So that would be what I use? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's still an action, but you don't need to roll. So you just show up to the door, type in the code, beep, beep, beep. The door opens, and you see a staircase leading down. But that's going to be on your next turn. So every turn you're going to have basically two actions. If you're like lucky enough, you might clear 2 floors in one shot. That depends on what you want to do.
It also depends on what's on each floor.
Yeah, if a fight breaks out, that's different. Like, that's going to be a...
Well, yeah, but if what I'm looking for is there on that floor and I just want to control it, then I don't need to go anywhere else. Yeah, but I don't need to go to a different floor.
No, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So
I just wanted to make clear like what I'm trying to do and make sure I understand how it works. Thank you.
By the way, Trins, you would notice that White has gone comatose.
This is fine.
He's connected to his cyber deck, so you can see it like the cyber deck on his lap. Or actually not on his lap because it's all internal for White. So he's just...
No, the deck is actually that old school one.
Oh yeah, right. No, so he's connected to like a laptop and he's like in the RV chair.
I'm just chilling.
Trins recognizes and knows that this is the whole thing, so she just nods. It's like, when you wake up, I've got more sodas.
Mr. Jimenez.
So we are going to roll that damage first.
Yes.
A lousy 15.
Ooh. That's 15. All right. You say it's lousy, but that's enough to break the rocket launcher.
There are two, right? Just
Yeah, one of them. So there's one on each side. The one you had fired on that was burning.
Okay.
The rockets begin to go off. Boom, 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 boom. The entire side of this AV is, well, not the siding, but like all the weaponry on that side. So one of the assault rifle, the entire rocket launcher setup is just blown out. Can you roll 8d6 more, please?
T2.
Ow. The AV swerves. It almost hits the RV before Dogkiller manages to get control of it again and hold it up in the sky. With that part blown out completely, it will no longer take, damage over time because there's nothing more to damage. But let's just say that if you were to do all of this 2 times more, you would reduce the entire thing to smithereens.
That's
But
fine.
there's only one more rocket launcher. The rest of your turn.
Yeah, I want to get this guy out of his AV. So, Menez is going to borrow another one of the napalm grenades from Jinx and juggle it a bit, and then heave it against the AV, aiming for that remaining rocket launcher.
Alright, I need to try to dodge then. A 19.
Crap. I'm going to use 3 luck points here.
Crap. Roll for damage.
Another 22.
It's looking rough. It's, you threw your Molotov at the other rocket launcher, disabling it unless Dogkiller is desperate. Jinx. Actually, Jinx, Reno, and again, I'm going to tell you, Dogkiller is going to move his AV over, like, here, kind of thing. Because we're going in initiative order, it's kind of weird. Trins, if you want White to stay connected, you will need to keep moving on your turn every time to stay close to the AV. Because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So he's just gonna drift, turn, and fire all of its weaponry. Except the rockets. Actually, no, is he? Is he desperate? No, not yet. So, the rest of the weaponry will be fired at the RV. But Jinx and Reno, you can go first.
I think I'm going to pull out my rifle and take my first shot at Dogkiller. Yeah, okay. There's my 10. Not good. Oh, shoulder arms. Shoulder arms, right? Yeah. 5 plus 13.
Let me see if he can dodge out of that. Yes.
Okay.
So you take your rifle, you start shooting, and he just ducks under the dash.
Okay. All right. Is there another way in this? Like, are there stairs in this building that leads to another floor?
Yep, leads to the second and leads to the third. In one turn, you can climb up a floor.
Okay.
Or go down a floor, depending on what you want.
I'm gonna look at Black Cat and say, "You'll be fine here by yourself. I'm just going up one."
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just figuring I'd spread out the damage, kind of thing. Yeah, I'll head up one floor,
All right.
but then I'm good.
Okay. What about Jinx?
There's two guys that were heading towards us,
Oh yeah.
and the guy in the building. Can I see him?
He's got cover. You can see him, but he has more HP because of cover.
Okay. I'm gonna go after the one of the two that's heading towards us.
Okay. There's one with a crossbow that you saw because he got it out. The other one, you don't know what weapon he has.
I'll go after the one I don't know what his weapon is.
Okay. They're a lot closer, but a 24 hits. Actually, yeah, no, 24 hits.
Okay. 24 damage.
Yeah, that's a crit. So can you roll 2d6 just for fun?
Fuck him up, Jinx.
Well, honestly, seeing his companion's head explode might give the crossbow guy some pause.
No. It's actually not his head. It's his leg. He's driving to towards the ferry. There's a pow, and there's just a leg that remained in place while the rest of the motorcycle kept driving. He's dead. He's dead, Jim. We'll go with Dog Killer doing his best to fire at Trins. Trins, are you using your drive to dodge?
Yes.
He's not firing at you, by the way, he's firing at the car in general.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna dodge this.
It's a 22.
I'm going to use my... No, I'm not. Oh, 22. Tie goes to the defender.
Actually, you would need to roll higher than him. Because you're setting the DV for him.
Oh, well...
If you have 1 point of luck left, you can use it.
Sure, I'll use my last point of luck on this.
Okay. So, lots of weapon fire. But again, you just, turn, swerve around, make sure to try to dodge out of the way. He's trying to corner the RV. Seeing how, so far, it's got the meanest weapon, but you notice that as he's firing, the rest of the AV turns. Wow, that sucks if I do it that way. Is there a flip? Tell me there's a flip. Yeah, there's a flip. Oop, nope, wrong flip. He flips, and he is going to head to the ferry. Because someone's been lobbing Molotov his way, and now it's getting problematic. That
Yeah, but
leaves
he's not
us-
going anywhere yet.
No, because he already moved on his turn. Black Cat.
Oh, good. Okay, I will try again to shoot at this guy.
Absolutely.
Sure. Let's see if we can do it this time.
He cannot dodge. That's your
Still
auto
no.
fire, by the way.
Oh, is that? Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to. Heavy.
And that is a hit. Roll for damage.
13.
13.
Lucky 13.
So he now has 3 armor. Took 9 damage. You shoot him like in the gut. He bends down in pain. Steadies himself. You can see like the blood pooling, but not that much. So the bullet must not have like pierced deep enough in his body. Like it's a superficial wound. And he's going to he's leveling. Oh, I forgot. His turn, so I'll do it after. Yeah, he levels his gun at you and will fire. So give me 2 seconds, White. I know it's your turn on the initiative order, but I forgot the Raffenshiv. So I'm just gonna do that real quick.
That's fine. Don't I have to wait until the top of the order when she moves?
Oh, yeah, we'd have to. That makes sense.
I'm basically after Trins now.
Yeah, I'll put you at 17. It's gonna be easier.
Okay.
There we go. Black Cat, are you speedy enough, fast enough to dodge bullets?
How would I know that?
What's your reflex? Is it 8 or more?
No, it's a 6.
Okay, then he only has to hit the regular, which would be, in this instance, oh god, a 20. He needs to roll a 20 or above. Where's my... Okay, it's plus 10. Wow, he sucks.
That was a tough DV.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough thing to hit.
Yeah, no, it's just I realized that for road gangers, he doesn't really have anything that has long range. So he's going to play to his strength, and he's going to afterward charge at Black Cat.
Oh, good.
The other one drives crossbowman. Was driving anyway. Turned around the other person who just died, and will spend his entire turn basically trying to infiltrate the ferry. You saw him like ride up into the ferry, but you don't know exactly where he's probably like on one of the lower level, but he's not driving anymore. That guy's on foot. Wow, where are my rides? He doesn't have any rides. Okay, let's see. Yep, no, he's going to stay. Get his assault rifle and try to fire at the RV. He's actually going to try to aim at one of the wheels. Trins, do you attempt to? Never mind. Yeah, no. He fires at the parking lot. The parking lot hurts. And the other one will do the same as earlier. Move up and again fire directly at Trins. It's a 18 to hit. So again, he's gonna fire at the silly putty that you put all over the window.
The ice chest lid takes
The ice
15.
chest. That's a 20, so you would take 5 damage,
I take nothing.
but you do take a crit. So no damage to you, however, because of maybe the impact or something. Oh, foreign object. So one of the pieces of the lid sort of like lodged itself in your shoulder. You're pinned to the driver's seat. Basically, you would take... you will take 5 damage, through your armor if you try to move away from the driver's seat. or if you move away more than 4 meters in one turn.
So basically, no damage now, only 5 damage if I move?
Anytime that you move, so not the RV, but you yourself, every
Cool.
time that you move more than 4 yards, you take 5 damage until someone patches you up.
That's fine.
It's just you have like a piece of steel that just cling and embedded itself in you. And on that, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back. Finish this fight. Stick around, everyone, and we'll do our giveaway upon our return. chooms, we are back. So, before we start our next round of combat, we have a GM screen to give away. And the keyword for this giveaway for tonight is going to be !panache! !Panache! We're going to give away a copy of the PDF version of the Cyberpunk GM screen, which comes in both light and dark mode. So type in your keywords, everyone, anyone who wishes to participate. And while we're gathering them, we'll just go right ahead and start our round with Trince.
Cool. So I just moved the RV closer.
Okay.
And look, who's the guy who shot me?
He's this guy over here.
Oh. So I'm going to multitask.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm driving the RV closer to the AV, I'm going to run his ass over because he shot me. That was mean. I don't like getting shot. Look, I went an entire season without getting shot. God damn it.
Based on the angles, the worst case scenario, you run them into a pile of napalm.
This is true. I have a NOS system for a reason. But it would be really awkward to use right now. So I'll just run him over normally and have a combat plow over him.
All right. He's going to, of course, try to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And fail at doing so. By 1.
Cool. So it's only...
8d6. It's only 8d6.
No, it's only 7d6 because I didn't turn on the NOS system.
Oh, okay.
For 17. But he's,
Oh, wow. He's actually not going to die from it.
Yeah, but he's going to be squished.
As you bump into them...
Over.
Yeah, well... You try to run him over, but it basically, he just, gets hit by the plow and is, moved out of the way, shoved out of the way. He falls out of his vehicle and, slides a bit on the asphalt of the parking lot.
Into the napalm?
No, not into the napalm.
Your Uber has arrived.
And with that, our winner is Chuckin. Chuckin, please, if you can send me a DM here on Twitch with your email address, and I will send that to Talsorian so they can send you your copy of the GM screen for Cyberpunk Red. Once again, congratulations, Chuckin. White, you're next.
Back into the architecture, I guess.
Yes.
So what's on this floor that I entered?
So next floor that you're on, you see what appears to be the ER room of a hospital.
Okay.
It's empty, of course, but it seems like the whole OS of the AV has never been updated from the architecture that Trauma Team had put there originally. And
from... Okay, yeah. So which floor do I need to get to either the weapons or the fire suppressant system?
So that would require a... because like I said, it doesn't seem like, but if you want to confirm, I believe it is an ID check.
Isn't that Pathfinder?
A Pathfinder, yeah, a Pathfinder check.
Okay. Do I get any bonuses for having this the manufacturer specs on this particular model?
No, but the DV is lower.
Okay. I gotta find my... So, do I click a button to roll this, or am I gonna have to...
You might have to type it in.
Okay. So, It's just going to be my initiative, or whatever that's called. Not initiative, the
Interface.
So it's D10 plus 2, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I don't see an interface button. I see for my programs, but not for the interface. So
Ooh, roll an extra D10.
I forgot to turn on exploding dice.
Okay, you know everything. So the highest DV was a 17. So the floor that you're on controls all of the like basic like entertainment, like the music, the comfort. So you're gonna have like the AC. You're going to have like heating. No, actually, it's in California. There's no heating in the car. It's AC and like the windows, the like anything that you could control from the dashboard of the car.
Okay.
The AV. Then the next floor is password protected. The floor underneath it has your fire suppressant system. It has all of the what would normally be like the monitoring stations for patients when they're brought in. But that was removed by Militech, so you know they're there, but they're like not working at the time, and haven't been replaced by anything. There's another floor after that which is protected by a hellhound, and the last floor under is the entire weapon, the AI that controls the weapon system.
Okay, so I need to go, what, do I have to go to the Hellhound floor to get to the fire suppressant system?
No, it would be right above it.
Oh, okay. So I just need to go down one then.
So yeah, your first action was to pathfind.
So then I got a back door again?
No, you don't need the back door because yes, you would
I have
need
the
the back
codes.
door. Yeah. So
I have the code, so you
don't need to roll, but again, that takes up one of your actions.
That's fine.
So by the end of this turn, you are climbing down the stairs to get to the fire suppressant system. Which means that would be, if you're lucky, depending on what you roll, your first action next turn could activate them.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's my goal is to force them to land. Is really what we're looking at. So,
all right. X.
We are going to roll our damage. That's 15.
Not enough to set the rockets ablaze yet. Almost for sure next turn, unless you roll really, really bad. But the fire has spread. It's just with the AV moving around all the time, it doesn't spread as fast as it should. I'm trying to explain why you rolled shit damage this turn, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Okay. And Jimenez is going to give Jinx a casual salute, and then he's going to drop down from their position on the ferry to the second floor, and then he is going to get a running start from here. I think I want to do a flying attack on the loser who's trying to storm the ferry.
Okay. He's got his crossbow out. You notice he's sneaking up the stairs that lead to the top of the ferry when you swing by.
Oh, he's that close. Okay.
Well, I mean, on your turn, you have enough movement to go down to see him, like to be within reach of him.
Okay. So, can I launch from the stairs at him?
Yeah. I'll say I'll up the DV a little. Basically, I'll give him like a +2 to his dodge because he has enough time to see you lunge at him.
Okay.
So the DV for this attack would be a 12.
Oh no.
Look. Are you hit?
Okay, so I'm using my special martial arts move, the flying kick, but we call it the sparkliest magician
Mm-hmm.
because it's a flying knee attack, and I believe what this move does is it does the damage, and then it knocks them prone. It sends them back 5 yards. Is that right? My damage was...
I believe it is your martial arts damage.
Yeah. Was that 3d6 or 4d6?
I got it
3d6.
here. What's your body?
It's 8.
3d6. And it ignores...
Oh my
Yes.
fucking god.
What? The absolute hell.
That is the worst roll I've ever seen.
Look, you barely hurt him, but he is thrown back, onto his ass. Martial arts is a rate of fire of 2, so if you want to...
No, the
the
flying kick only
sparkliest is
takes-
2 attacks? Okay.
Yeah. That is...
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has to spend his turn getting up, though, so...
Yeah, that's it.
Unless 5 yards would knock him off the second level of the ferry.
No, because he was still on the first floor. Basically, he was about to hit the stairs to go up, and you were atop the stairs, so you basically flew at him from atop the stairs. Well, look, he's on his ass for now. Jinx and Reno. The AV will fly, like I said, towards the ferry. Jinx, you can see Dog Killer is aiming for you with the machine gun.
Of course. Fucking scaredy cat.
So either Reno or you.
I'm
Well, go ahead.
Go. You just started. Keep going.
Okay, Jinx was gonna take cover and hold her action, because obviously right now I still can't see him. He's in the freaking AV. So.
Oh, you could aim for him.
Oh, I can. I can see him. Oh, well then, sure. What the hell? I'll shoot dog killer.
Yeah, if he sees you, you see him.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what it looked like. And oh, fuck off! I don't see shit.
No, you fire in the air.
And then I dodge and get cover.
Okay. The railing of the ferry, it's not as good as the concrete of the building, but it does give you an extra 10 hit points. Like 10 temporary hit points while you're hiding behind cover. What about you, Reno?
I'm gonna assume these little Z's on the walls are windows.
There are doors. Assume
there's
that the
doors,
windows are
okay.
all around. Like,
They're
if
all
you
around,
want to find a
okay.
window, you'll find one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over to the other side of the building and take a shot at him as he's gone over to where Jimenez and Jinx are.
Okay.
So that is.
Oh yeah, he can dodge
15.
that.
Okay, he dodges it. Okay.
No, because he rolled a 1. So he's got a
Oh.
9. So that's a hit.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. We'll take it. Where's my other d6? Okay. This is 5d6. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of damage.
Not enough to completely break through the his bulletproof window,
Okay.
but he is now aware of your presence.
Okay, that's fine. Come at me, bro.
But for this turn,
Yeah.
he's
Rate of fire
going.
1, that's on me.
Was it rate of fire 1, your gun?
Yeah, I said it's rate of fire 1, so that's it for me.
Oh, okay. So then, Jinx, are you fast enough to dodge bullets?
Yes.
Okay, can you make an evasion roll against the DV of 20? Oh shit. So that's a 14. So he's going to deal. It's 2d6 times the amount of times I beat the DV by, up to 4. Oh yeah, 2d6 times 4. You are going to take 16 points of damage, which means that your cover takes up the first 10.
And then my light armor jack takes the other 6.
Yep. And is your light armor jack? What's the armor for it?
11.
Okay, then it doesn't even lower the armor. There's no ablation, no nothing. Your dear uncle is very angry. And Chuckin, by the way, the message did go through. I just replied to you to make sure that we have a trace somewhere. So thank you for that. Burp, burp, burp. The Raff and Shiv that are left, the one that's in the... You know what? Screw it. The one that's on the floor with the crossbow is not going to get back up. He's on his back. He's just like gonna grab his crossbow, aim it at Jimenez, and fire at him. Jimenez, are you able to dodge bullets?
Crossbow bolt counts as a bullet?
Yeah, it's
am.
weird.
Yeah. No, I am not.
Okay, so then an 18... Oh, hits. And you will take... Crossbow, it's 4d6. It's in your body, because he's not trying to aim or anything. He was just, like, scrambling to hurt you first, and then potentially get up, like, next turn. Now you're gonna take 15.
So it's a net 4, because light armor jack is 11.
Yep. And now your light
Doesn't
armor
he have
jack...
a...
Huh?
Just out of curiosity, does he suffer a penalty for shooting from the ground?
Oh, yeah, because he's prone. Let me see. Yes, he would suffer a -2. But that would bring him to a 16, and he needs a 15 to hit.
Okay.
From where you are.
All right, so he still hits then.
Yeah. So you take 4, and then your armor jack is worth 10 from now on. Or until, until Trins repairs it. Hey, Black Cat. There's a guy in your face.
Yep,
And he's angry.
I can imagine so.
And he draws a knife on you.
Cool.
And he's going to attack you twice. You are allowed to dodge because it's a melee attack.
Okay.
So you can roll your evasion. The first attack is a 12. The second is a 17.
Okay. I'm trying to find evasion.
I think it's in your combat skill.
Okay, I see it.
All right, forget about the first, and then what about the second?
Um,
Yeah, you just deftly move out of the range of the reach of his knife as he tries to gut you open twice with a Bowie knife. How many times can I fire before I have to reload?
Depends on the weapon.
Yeah, it's a shotgun. The guy that keeps going after Trins.
I think it's
shotgun,
twice.
Shotgun.
Because it's a double barrel, right?
Nah. Not in this universe. It's 4. So he already fired twice. He still has 2 more. So Trins once again through the broken glass. Do
Cool.
you dodge?
Yes.
Oh no, he is heavily injured. Oh shit, and he rolled a 10. Okay, so you have to beat a 27.
Well, that's gonna be hard. Yeah, and it's me, not the car.
Yeah. I roll like shit, so it might not be too bad. You take 19.
No, I don't. I only take 8.
And the guy on foot,
Now I'm pissed, and he's gonna die. You understand this, right?
you know what? The guy on foot is looking at everyone that's dead. He doesn't have a ride anymore. Everyone's left him alone at the other end of the parking lot. He's going to sneakily cower his way out of this fight. Black Cat.
Yeah, so this guy who's in my face, can I tell me if this is theoretically possible? I'd like to grab his wrist with one hand, and with the other I have rippers, and I'd like to put them straight up through the soft part of the neck.
You can actually attack twice with the rippers.
Oh, cool.
So you can stab him twice if it doesn't work the first time.
Okay.
But yes, it's entirely possible. However, is you grabbing the wrist, is that just like flavor, or do you really attempt a grab maneuver?
It's more flavor. I was gonna
Okay.
roll it in with my 31 dodge.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you grab his wrist, you get the rippers out, and you stab him in the fleshy parts, the fleshy bits, which could be other places. But yeah, make a roll.
Is that a brawl check?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a cyber arm, it is brawling attack. Oh shit. Listen. He's not that great at fighting hand to hand. He's not that great at fighting in range. Well, no, he's not that great, period. 20, I have a 12 on the first attack, and I'm gonna have a 9 on the second. If you can roll for the second right away too, please.
Okay, sure thing.
Yeah, they both hit. Roll damage.
Okay.
And they ignore half of his armor.
So first one damage. They both hit, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and second one damage.
Okay, so -3 and -5 total. So he's gonna take 12 points of damage. He dies.
Good. And I'm gonna take his knife. My knife now. And as I'm lowering him to the floor, and I'm just gonna say, bad luck. Then I'm gonna go for the guy with the crossbow next.
All right.
Next turn.
Trins.
Fuck this guy, he shot me. I was nice last time. I'm gonna turn the NOS on so I can then keep moving closer for the Also, how, out of curiosity, it's a very important question here. What is the elevation of the AV at the moment?
It would roughly be like at the same height as the third floor of the building. So I don't know, 10,
Okay,
20. We'll
2.
see like 20 some odd feet in the air.
Yeah,
20 some odd
just a
feet.
little too high. It's okay. I'm gonna run this guy over.
He needs to dodge. He fails at dodging again.
Yeah, and I turned the NOS system on this time, so fuck this guy.
Yeah, now he's goo. He's finally goo. You just, as you turn, you just run him over, and you hear the crack of his motorcycle like break under the wheels of the RV. As you keep up with Mr. Dog Killer, Mr. White, back inside the net.
Yes.
You reach down to the that level of the architecture. All around you, you notice this is a supply room, almost like a big supply room in the hospital, and many of the items on the shelves are actually the control nodes for various programs in the AV, and one of them is a fire extinguisher. If you want to take control of it, that is an interface roll DV9.
Interface DV9. I do, and I want this quick. Why not? I'm going to blow all 5 of my luck to make sure that the only way I can fail is if I crit fail.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So that's an 11 with
Yep.
all 5 of my luck.
Very quickly, you grab hold of the fire extinguisher, and you sort of get like this innate understanding on how to take control of that system inside the AV. You turn it on, and I mean Reno and Jinx, because you're staring at the front of the AV, you would see just all of a sudden the inside goes white. Like if someone had filled it up with marshmallows.
Something's happening.
Yeah, what the heck?
We're gonna see more on that turn. That was your first action, White. So you've got a second net action. There are other things in the
Okay.
supply.
What else is in there?
Pause it if you want. So you don't have the weapons, but you have all the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Both the spotlights and the like the interior lights, but you might not care about those. But you also have the like the flight or hover mode. So you could force him to not be able to, well, unless he, like, it would become a contested challenge, but basically shift the, it's like putting the handbrake on the AV.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right, that's slightly harder to control. That's going to be a DV12.
Well, we'll see if I can get lucky. If not, it was worth a try. Nope.
Yeah, you attempt to do it, but you are almost immediately overridden by him inside. He's probably just like smashing buttons everywhere, trying to find the one, blindly trying to find the one that'll turn off the emergency fire suppressant. X with a bolt in the chest.
Well, first we're going to roll the damage from the napalm.
Yes, which will, same as earlier, except that is enough. Can you roll 8d6 again as the other one blows up? 20. That's 62. All of the weapon systems are gone. The AV is still standing. It is burnt on both sides. It's on fire. He probably feels the heat inside, but he is covered by very cold fire suppressant foam. He is completely blind. For all intents and purposes, that AV has 18 HP left. So it's holding by a thread. If it reaches 0, the AV will crash to the ground. It's only like 20 feet high up in the air, but, you know, just saying. So that was your, regular fire thing. Can you just roll 1d10? If you roll a 1, some of the napalm will fall on your girlfriend's armored RV. Nah. For some reason, like, the wind blew in just the right direction. When the rockets exploded, all the debris fell around the RV, but none of them touched Trince's car.
Sure, now I roll a 10. Okay. Jimenez is just still standing there, looming angrily over the prone guy, obviously dressed in his Justice Mime uniform. And he's going to leap up into the air and come down with a double foot stomp like Bruce Lee did in Enter the Dragon to try to cave this guy's chest in.
Ow. Well,
shot me.
His dodge roll is an 11. He's literally trying to roll away from you.
Oh, fuck. Okay, that's fine. So I missed with the first one.
Yeah. So you stomp down, he rolled to the side. He looks up at you, like, still prone, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
You see, from that position, he's going to backflip into another double foot stomp onto his chest.
That's weird. Yeah, no, the second one hits. Roll that damage.
9.
He is now heavily injured.
Oh, wow.
So
I feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah, you heard the crack of the ribs as he, like, coughs up blood. It's like, I don't know what he's gonna do on his turn. I have literally no clue. You're now standing on top of him. A bit like earlier, Jinx and Reno, you notice what's gonna happen with Dog Killer. I need to make a roll for him first. Why doesn't it... Roll 20. What's happening? 7... He's actually... Oh, Well then. He did not think about wiping clean in his field of vision. So the AV will keep moving forward. It's out of control. At this time. The AV is actually, instead of going straight, it's slowly veering off because he turned the first time. So it keeps on turning, and if it keeps going, he's probably going to crash around here. So either against the building, or like half on the pier, half in the water. What do you do? Because you can no longer see him due to the foam, you can still fire at him, but it's like firing blindly into the car.
Hey, Manos. Yeah, you get the message on the...
Yeah.
Do you still want that last shot?
Well, I would like him out of the AV first.
Is there anywhere I could shoot on the AV that would help bring it down?
Yeah. there is a place, like, let's say it's like one of the, it's one of the, like, hover thrusters. You don't need a call to... Okay, he's gonna try to dodge, but he doesn't see anything, so he's got a -4. Yeah, he actually positions himself in the trajectory of your bullet. Roll for damage. If you score at least 18 damage, it actually will crash land exactly where it is. So right here. It basically bumps against the ferry and like shifts to the side and skids to a halt, to a stop on the pier. Reno, anything that you wanted to do at the same time?
I can tell that dog killer is in pretty big shit. So over the radio, I'm going to send to Jinx. You want to take the final shot?
I had to deal with him, and as mind you, like, if it doesn't work out, I'll take the final shot.
All right. And is he the only? Let me look at the map again.
He's the only one that you can see. Oh
Okay.
no, you're on the second floor, right?
I am on the second floor. Yeah.
Okay, so there's this guy. There's like one Raffen Shiv trying to crawl away. He's like hunched, trying to sneak away from the parking lot.
Okay.
He's like across the street. He's a good like 60, 70 yards away from you. I mean, with an assault rifle, it's not impossible. It's just a little past your sweet spot. So it would be a DV-15 if you wanted to fire at him.
You know what? Why not? I'm gonna let dog killer by himself. I just light up a cigarette, walk to the other side of the building. Let's take our little pot shot. Oh, that's a 0. That's a crit. And then I roll again for that. A 19 at least.
It's fine. You hit.
Okay.
He cannot dodge the bullet anyway. So roll for damage.
7, 8.
And let me know if you roll double sixes.
I do not. 16.
There is a pow as you fire, and he like lurches forward, like falls on all four, still alive. But I believe your rate of fire with an assault rifle is
It's just 1.
Okay. Yeah. So he falls on all four. He's heavily wounded, and he'll just keep, literally this time, crawling away on his turn. With everything that has happened, I'll just get to the last Raffen Shiv, the one whose like chest has been caved in. He's holding onto clutching his chest. He dropped his crossbow. He's still prone. He's writhing in pain. Imenez, you're a proficient, a capable fighter. You know that this guy is not gonna cause any other trouble. Whatever you would like to do to him, you can. He is not, like, he would have needed to reload his crossbow, which he doesn't have the energy for. And he will most certainly not try to go hand-to-hand with you. So if there's anything you want to do to him, the floor is yours.
He's not going to do anything. He's just going to kick the crossbow, and he's going to start making his way over to the AV.
All right. And we're going to take our group out of initiative. The AV has crashed. And out of the wreckage, like, someone kicks the door open, like, to the side. And out comes, quote-unquote, dog killer, which you realize now is in a very bad shape. He's bruised, cut in a few places. He's still, like, covered in that white, like, thick white foam. He is disheveled. He's got a, like, repeating grenade launch. Imagine the shape of a tummy gun, but it's a grenade launcher in one hand. And he looks around, trying to find all of you. There's still like shit in his eyes, so he doesn't really see exactly where everyone is. So he just like yells out, "Morgan! Come here, you little bitch!"
You know, I was kind of confused when he said Morgan, but then he said little bitch, and I knew exactly who he was talking about.
Himself?
Oh, I think he means me.
I mean, did you want to kill him? Because I could just run him over.
I mean, obviously I want to kill him, but I
Okay.
mean, we gotta let Jimenez. I made a deal with Jimenez. He needs a good shot. But we gotta let the cameras get it, and then I'll deal with it.
Always go for the merchandising.
Yeah.
Also, I call shotgun on the wreckage.
How do you call shotgun on wreckage?
Dibs. Mine. All mine.
Okay.
Mine.
Who else? would-
Magically, Trin's
Call.
turned into a seagull.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So,
Also, I might be a little bitch, but at least I'm not a fucking coward hiding in a fucking AV. Fucking piece of shit.
he levels the grenade launcher and fires like 2 grenades in your general direction. They lob over the ferry and fall into the water. And he says, "I have a job to finish. I intend on finishing it. There's no truck to hide yourself in now. No mommy and daddy to save you. Come on." And he finishes like wiping his eyes. He's going to notice you in a few seconds. I don't know what all of you want to do. You're all more or less watching this scene unfold.
So
I'm gonna tend to Trin's wounds.
Okay.
I want to say that Justice Mime is looming behind Dog Killer, and he's just sort of going to pop up like a horror movie villain and grab both of his arms and tiger suplex him and basically drop him on his head. It's gonna be a very high arcing one.
Since you're looming over him, you're on top of the burnt out AV. There's fire everywhere, smoke, foam. If you're suplexing him, do you want his head to hit the AV? Or are you doing it on the other side and basically gonna drop him on his head, on the asphalt, down from the AV?
Wait, is he on the AV or is he
Yeah.
all like on the ground? Okay.
No, he like kicked the door open and got out, and he's just standing by where the side door of the AV was.
He's standing on the on the skids.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna change what I do then. He's gonna grab him, invert him, and then leap off the AV and pile drive him down into the pier.
He's blinded, but I'm still like, I mean, he has reflexes, right? He can still potentially. You would need a 19 or above.
So, wait, hang on. Like, how damaged is he? Does he have half his life yet left?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
the foam and the crash did more than the bullets that Reno and Jinx put through.
Okay, because if he's at half health, then that means I can activate my second martial arts move, which is the signature move. And I would roll against a DV of 15 instead of a opposed roll.
Oh, then yeah, go ahead. Yes, a 33 hits.
So the damage from this is body times 2 plus a spinal injury.
Your body's an 8, right?
Yeah, so it's 16, and then
So that's a 39 plus spinal injury. He's got the wind knocked out of him. He is not dead, but he's in a very, very critical condition. He's on his back. The grenade launcher fell into the water. You heard the crack when his body hit the pavement. He's barely breathing. Everyone. The cameras caught sign of that, and in fact, we're gonna end on this little cliffhanger for tonight because we've been running over quite a lot for our finale. But across the street, there are two people hiding behind a dumpster. A cameraman and a reporter. And they've been filming, well, most of the fight, except for what happened behind the building, so the last couple of turns. And the reporter, like, elbows the cameraman. He's like, "Did you get that? Did you get that? We should get closer. Come on." And that reporter will feature in the first episode of our next season next week.
Sorry, on the cliffhanger thing, could we just say that Jimenez drops his wrestling t-shirt, the fucking legit t-shirt, over Dog Killer's face, and then, you know, when the camera focuses on him, he changes his makeup to reveal
The face?
Justice Mime is in fact Jimenez.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we'll end on that, actually. The close-up of the mime's face, just you wiping the paint away, revealing Jimenez behind. And the consequences of this reveal. And whatever you'll intend to do with Dog Killer. Because that's going to be up to you. Players are going to have a week to think about it. But for all intents and purposes, Dog Killer is gone. Done. Whether you turn him in, give him to Kiyoshi, let Jinx murder him, let Jimenez kick him to death, whatever you want to do, just let me know, and we'll have that scene next week. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, players, for staying for so long. That was the end of our 4th season. There's a few... Oh, yeah, no. No, please. Kill Dog Killer without asking questions. Because there are still a few loose threads about Jinx's past that we might discover at the start of Season 5. But otherwise, thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you to our sponsors, Art Talsorian Games, Roll20, Found Familiar, and Magen Press. Thank you, players. We won't do outros because we ran over for so long. So please check all of them on the Twitter. They have a bunch of stuff. They're amazing people and amazing players, and you should like follow all of them. And you should also follow me, probably. Anyway, we'll see you not tomorrow for Cyan because of the American long weekend. So we'll be back on Monday with Rime of the Frost Maiden and our 5th season first episode, I guess, opening, next week on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye bye.